So 2017 is starting on a rather strong footing. In the US, we have Donald Trump, who has announced some budget expansion for 2017 and 2018, which should lead to higher economic growth. While in the emerging market, we have seen a recovery in 2016, and we expect it to continue in 2017. However, we remain cautious on the emerging market because a lot will depend on commodity prices developments and also on the overheating credit market in China, which could dampen growth prospects in the most vulnerable emerging countries. In the Eurozone, there we also have seen an acceleration in the recovery thanks to a strong labor market and strong employment growth, which is driving up private consumption. So for the moment, growth in the Eurozone is mainly domestic driven. We will also see a recovery in housing investments in the coming year after more than 7 years of contraction in the Eurozone market. So the picture looks positive, but there is one big risk, which is a political risk, as in 2017 we'll have several legislative elections, starting with the Netherlands, but also in France and Germany, which could trouble the growth outlook. Also, Italy remains one of the biggest political risks for 2017, with maybe elections looming in June, where more extremist parties could trouble the recovery prospects for the entire Eurozone. In terms of interest rates, Donald Trump's policies have risen inflation expectations in the United States, which has driven upwards the long-term interest rates. This will also make the Federal Reserve a bit more active in 2017. We think that it will hike interest rates at least 2 times next year, so that overall the interest rates normalization has begun in the United States. In the Eurozone, the situation is a bit different. We have had higher inflation expectations as well in the Eurozone, which is why the long-term interest rates are already a bit higher and are not negative anymore. However, the European Central Bank will continue to intervene in 2017 and probably also in 2018. This means that the long-term interest rates cannot go upwards very quickly, while short-term interest rates will remain in negative territory at least until 2018. And this divergence between the two central banks, of course, will remain quite positive for the US dollar. However, keep in mind that the US dollar is starting from an already overvalued position, meaning that the dollar rally cannot be infinite. For the moment, we expect that the US dollar could reach parity against the euro, but the dollar rally should not go beyond that in 2017.